All right, today I got something really special for you. Something you're probably not going to see anywhere else, at least for a real long time. Today we have this brand new 2022 Noel Gallagher Gibson ES-355 from the Gibson Custom Shop and the Murphy Lab guitar. Nicely aged, totally sold out. We're going to compare it to this original, super awesome flame top 1959 Gibson ES-345. Not exactly the same guitar, the same model, but as close as I can give you here. Let's compare the sounds on these two instruments back and forth as quickly as I can for the first part of the video. The next part of the video after that, I'm going to go ahead and talk more about these two guitars, give you a breakdown. Please subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate it. The Gallagher is for sale. All right, I'm having too much fun. More fun than a human being should be allowed to have. These are just really two fabulous guitars. I mean, you think of vintage instruments. I mean, as far as vintage Gibsons, I can't think of a cooler guitar than this. I still have to pinch myself that I have it. I mean, look at the flame top on that thing. It's just absurd. 59 ES-345 with the 2022 Gibson Custom Shop Noel Gallagher guitar. How do these guitars break down? They're pretty close. I still have to give this one the tip-top grade. It comes out ahead personally for me, but this one really isn't that far behind. I mean, from the feel of the guitars, the aging, I mean, the way the checking is, the wear on the back of the neck. This one is actually more worn than this one. You know, the smell, this one has that old smell. This one smells new still, so, you know, it can't quite get it there. But yeah, really, really good. You know, yeah, so we'd have to get real picky on this one. But man, they're so close, they're so good. This is actually, I think, a 60, and this is a 59, but the neck profiles are pretty similar. This is a smaller than average 59, which is very common on an ES guitar. They're not all like the Les Paul necks, which are bigger, and not all the Les Paul necks are the same. And this is probably a fatter than average 60 neck. So they kind of meet pretty close. Yeah, they both have very similar necks. I would say that just kind of when you close your eyes and feel the sides of the neck, they're very close. This one has more of that vintage feel where everything's kind of been smoothed out. There's no real nibs on the edges of the binding on this. It just kind of goes straight there. This one kind of has the modern nibs. So you feel that a little bit, but man, it's really subtle. Obviously, the guitars are different models. A quick rundown of the differences on these. This has a rosewood board with split parallelogram inlays. This has it's supposed to be ebony. It might be rich light. I can't remember how they did it, but it's an ebony board with big block inlays. This has that faux tortoiseshell pickguard with the binding on it. I think it's celluloid. This has the bigger black pickguard. They both have gold parts. This obviously has a Bigsby. This is a stop tail. Personally, I don't think there's as big a difference in sound with the Bigsby and the stop tail. That's because the break angle on the stop tail is so much more than, say, on the trapeze tailpiece. Yeah, fit and finish, man. This is the best aging Gibson's done. I got to give my hats off to Joe Reissue, because he does by far the best aging, period. This guitar doesn't have a lot of wear, so there's not a lot to compare to, but this really does get a lot closer to authentic aging than what you would see on some of the other stuff. Sound-wise, I'll let you be the judge. I mean, they're pretty close. In some ways, you know, there's some ways in the tone that this actually sounds better than this, but again, overall, I don't think you can improve on the vintage PAF. Interestingly, this has a wired bridge. This has the proper no wire bridge. I'm wondering why they opted for the wired ABR1 on this. The aging on that's very, very good. Very close to what you'd find. Pickup covers on the Gibson one, I mean, you can tell they're aged. On this one, they're really in good shape. They do have a little bit of aging, and you can tell they're vintage. So, yeah, I would say too, another thing, the wheels on the posts here. On the vintage one, they have like these a little bit of rounding to them, just a little softer. This one's pointier and harder, so that's a little detail that jumped out at me. Knobs-wise, obviously they have different knobs. And this has, of course, a gold circle under the Veritone selector switch. That one has a black one. So I forgot to put the switch tip on here. But yeah, I mean, seriously, guys, I mean, you close your eyes and play them side by side, and it's like you're going to have a tough time telling them apart. This is a really, really fabulous instrument. Obviously, nothing is going to beat a vintage 59 Gibson. I'm sorry, you're just not going to be able to do it. There's a reason they're so cool, and it's not just because they're old. It's hard to find guitars that sound better, look cooler, play nicer, that give you that wow factor than this. But I have to hand it to Gibson and the Noel Gallagher reissues. This is probably the best they've done that I've ever seen, and it's really, really close. And given that this guitar here, right now, I mean, pretty soon these are going to be pushing 100K. I mean, there's already 1960, 1959 345s and 335s that are going up fast. This one with the flame top, oh man, I don't know what this could go for, but sorry, it's not for sale. So even with the price point on this, which is not cheap, you're getting as close as you're going to get to the glory days of everything. It has the appeal, of course, of the Gallagher celebrity provenance. Personally, for me, I'm not real into celebrity guitars. I mean, there's a few classic players I'd go gaga for, You know, Oasis. I like Oasis. They're pretty good. They're a good band. They're a great band. I think I'm more with Paul McCartney, where, you know, they're a little derivative. That's really not fair, though, because, you know, everybody's derivative of the Beatles. Oasis is a great group. Gallagher is a great songwriter, and there's a reason they were so popular and continue to be. So, yeah, and it's great to be able to have a replica of this instrument. There's a good reason why he loves this guitar and plays this guitar. It's an awesome guitar. So I hope you enjoyed my demo of these two guitars. Again, this one is for sale. If you're interested, I got contact info below. It's not cheap. The original run already sold out, and they're going for more than list. And that's been the pattern with lots of different guitars. And same thing is going to be true here. The 59 is not for sale. Sorry. This one's staying with me. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please like the video. Please subscribe to my channel. It's not hard to do. Makes it a lot easier for me to get these videos and these guitars out in front of people, share some of this cool stuff I have, and also, yeah, there's a profit motive. I'd like to sell these because I am running a business, and it's a business, and it's a thing I love doing with all these guitars. Anyway, 1959, original vintage 345, 2022 reissue, Noel Gallagher. Thanks for watching the video. Have a fabulous day.